Is Klombo coming back? A few seasons ago, Klombo was removed from the game files, which led many to believe he was gone for good. But what if I told you there's a way to bring him back from the dead? Well, today, we're going to show you how to get Klombo in Creative 2.0, how to get him moving, and perhaps by the end of the video, we'll even show you how to make your own custom species of Klombo. So, let's get right to it. Thanks to Creative 2.0, we can add almost any model we can find into the map. Though, be careful not to hit any of that copyrighted material or Epic will come busting through your front door. Seriously, don't get yourself banned. You can find the 3D model of Klombo on Sketchfab. In fact, you can find a variety of different models with different skins. However, we're going to be focusing on two Klombos in particular, the standard Klombo and a pure white Klombo. The key difference between the two is that one is an OBJ file while the other is a blend file. And we'll teach you how to use both later on. Feel like you need a boost in your Fortnite skills? Then you might need a little training from ProGuides.com. Click on the link below and check out our courses. Build faster, sweat harder, and never miss a beat in any fight. Now that we have Klombo, we'll need to add him into Creative 2.0 so you can paste him pretty much anywhere. There are two different ways to do this depending on which file you downloaded. We'll begin with the OBJ method. Now, if you don't already have the program, take a moment to download Blender because it comes in handy on so many different projects. Download the OBJ files and they should come in a zip folder. Unzip it and then import Klombo's OBJ to Blender. Now, once Klombo is in Blender, you're going to want to delete any other object in the project such as lighting and camera. Again, make sure Klombo is the only thing on your screen before this next step. Now, export Klombo as an FBX. Once you do this, you can start opening the UEFN program so you can import him in. Just make sure to do the proper preparations. Load up the map you want to put him in. Create a new project, or if you want, open up a map you're already working on and head towards the My Project B content folder. Click on that and then create a new folder to store all the new assets we'll be using. We recommend you do this even if you're working on other characters, locations, or even props. It's always good to keep things tidy and you'll have an easier time finding what you're looking for. Click on Import and select the Klombo file. After a quick wait, you should have various Klombo files appear in the folder. And if all goes well, you should be able to select everything in the file and drag it into your map. Now, you should have a fully modeled Klombo to play around with. Another method is to place Klombo wherever you want, and then one by one, start attaching the correct meshes to the appropriate spots. If you don't see the meshes popping up, then check your PC folders again and make sure you import the texture files as well. Sometimes Klombo and the meshes need to be done separately. The other file you can download Klombo from is in a blend format. Download it, unzip the file, and you'll see it with the Blender logo and everything. Double click on it and it'll open Klombo in Blender. You'll notice that this one comes with the textures already on it. Export him as an FBX just like you did with the other version and then import him into UEFN. Now you should have a Klombo model and a Klombo skeleton in your prop folders. You can use these methods to import all sorts of different props and not just the ones provided by Epic. For anyone that enjoys 3D modeling and creating things from scratch, you can also add these things in as long as you follow the appropriate steps. Now, did your Klombo come out looking a little pale? Well, don't worry because next we're going to show you how to get that Klombo looking clean. In some cases, everything will load correctly. However, as with any game design, things don't always work out the same for every person. Now, if your textures did not import correctly, then the file you got Klombo from might not have them included. However, sometimes you simply need to import the Klombo model and the meshes separately. One of the most prevalent problems with getting Klombo working properly is getting his eyes right. In Face, in some downloads, the files for the eyes don't necessarily appear when you look for them. One such file is the eye pupil, which is labeled as pupil, and it won't usually come up when you search for eye meshes. Now, if you use the OBJ download from Sketchfab, then the textures should be in the same zip file. However, if you use the blend file and you're still not seeing it, then you might need a few extra steps to get those textures. Hop back onto Blender where you have the blend file open. Go to the File tab and head to External Data and remove the Automatically Pack Resources option. Go back to File and External Data and now click on Unpack Resources. There should be around 25 files available when you click this. What you're going to want to do is go to where it says Use Files in Current Directory. Click that and give it a moment. If done correctly, there should be a new folder in your downloads next to the original Klombo blend file called Textures. Open it and you'll see everything from his teeth, body, and eyes. Drag and drop these new files onto the same UEFN FN folder that you're keeping your Klombo model. Then double-click the white spheres. This will open up the material graph for you to plug in each texture individually. Now, it might seem scary, but if you click on each texture, you can look at their details on the left side of your screen. Now find the butter cake body D. This is the base texture. Any texture that ends with D usually follows this rule. Now connect the dots from RGB to base color on the panel, and you'll notice that the white sphere now shares the same properties. The rest of the textures have letters at the end of each name, so connect them to the appropriate slots. M is for metallic, S is for specular, and N is for normal, and so on and so forth. Click apply, and your Klombo will start to look colorful. Do this with each piece of the Klombo, and don't forget to use your search bar to find the textures you want to use for plugins. Now, you aren't just limited to the default Klombo textures. You can also give him different meshes from a variety of different characters, or even import your own to make each Klombo unique. You can have wooden Klombos, even Klombo statues for when you want to make the temple of the Klombos. You can even overlap them with the textures of other Fortnite skins. Honestly, if I had to say, these kind of look like Klombo's distant cousins. And this isn't just limited to Klombos. In fact, you can change the meshes of any character this way, or even add some custom ones of your own. Now for the question of the day. If you could create anything on Creative 2.0, what would be your dream project? Let us know in the comment section down below. The hardest step by far is getting Klombo animated. However, we got a few tricks to get that Klombo moving around a bit for any beginner. One thing you can currently do is make his tail wag. So find your Klombo skeleton you've been working on and right click. Select create and then control rig. Open the new rig and you'll be taken to a new window. Find the rig hierarchy option on the left side, and here you can see all of Klombo's bones. If you click on any of them, you'll see them highlighted on the preview screen above. In simpler terms, if there are 3 bones in an area and one of them is the dominant bone, then the dominant bone is the one that controls the movement. Click on the character, then bones, and all hierarchy to see all of Klombo's bones. Then reduce the bone draw size so you only see the most important ones in the preview. Each time you click on one of these bones on the preview, it'll take you to the file name of each bone so you can identify which is which. Click on Buttercake's main bone. That's the file all the way on top of the rig hierarchy chart. Right click and create new control. This should create a new red icon. Right click and unparent it. If you want a better visual of the new icons that popped up, you could change the shape or even increase the size of it to your convenience. Now, drag the new Buttercake Mammal CTR file and drop it into the forward solve graph. Right click and select Get Control. Go back to your rig hierarchy and select the bone you want to be able to control and click on Set Control. You should have 3 boxes on your graph now. The forward solve box should have an icon that reads Execute. Connect it to the Execute context, and then the green box should have the transform icon linked to value. Another way to do this would be to right-click and search for parent constraint. Then this should open up a box. Now click on Buttercake Mammal so it highlights, and then on the new box where it says Name in pink. Add that to the main bone. Now make sure it's under Child. Now click on Parents, then the 0, and then Item. Then under Name, you want to add in the same bone you did before. Now this will make it so you can drag Klombo around on the new control you just made. Select the tailbone and create a control for the tail, and you're going to want to do this for each individual tailbone as well, since we'll need each of these bones moving to create the illusion of life. These controls look hard to see, so we recommend changing the shape to something easier. Octagons are easy to spot, so change the shape and switch the rotator to 90 degrees, and it'll end up looking like rings. Now, you're going to want to unparent all of these new controls and pair them up with the first control you created in this process. To make it easier to spot, you can change the color of these controls so you always know which one you started with. Now, you're going to want to go back to your graph and create 7 more parent constraint boxes, 1 for each bone. Link them all through the execute slot until it looks like a spawn. Now, we're almost there. Just bear with us. Go through each box individually and search up the name of each bone. If you just type tail, you should see tail 1 through 6. The first box should be connected to the tail base. Do this for both the name slots on the top and bottom. If you did this right, you'll be able to move each tailbone individually. The base of the tail moves the whole thing, while the very tip of the tail will only move itself. Now, save the settings, and you can drag and drop the Klombo onto the map. Finally, all you need to do is to go on your timeline and set points. Pose the Klombo's tail in the position that you want it to be at the start of the animation. Move the timeline up, and for the second point, put where you want the animation to end on. Now you can press play and you'll see the tail moving with in that time frame. Drag the timeline closer to the second point and end it there. Now this movement becomes the whole animation so it can loop, and now you can export the animation. Don't forget to visit ProGuides.com and see how you can save on coaching today. Now for the final stretch. Go to your Klombo folder and create a blueprint class. Double click on it and you'll need to drag and drop basic Klombo skeleton in here. Go to the animation tab, and once again, if everything was done correctly, you can select any animation sequence you've completed and save and attach it to your skeleton. Now, this is just a small taste of what Creative 2.0 can do, and if you study hard enough, you'll learn how to move other parts of his body, such as his feet to make him walk, or his head, so he shakes his head in disapproval. Think you've got what it takes to get started? If so, leave a like and ring that bell for more creative and competitive tips and tricks.